This week's Parsha is Parshas Ki Sisa. Parshas Ki Sisa talks about Mount Sinai, Moshe going up, getting the 10 Commandments, telling them to the Jewish people, staying there for 40 days and 40 nights on the top of Mount Sinai, learning the rest of the Torah. During that time that Moshe was on top of Mount Sinai, learning the entirety of the Torah for 40 days and 40 nights, Moshe says, Lechem lo achalti umayim lo shasisi. Bread I did not eat, and water I did not drink. Interesting way of putting that he basically fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, which is obviously miraculous, that he could survive for so long without bread and water, any food whatsoever, any drink whatsoever. But the way Moshe phrases it, that he says, bread I did not eat, water I did not drink, is very curious. Why didn't he just say, I did not eat and did not drink? Simply say that he fasted. I did not eat. Why does he refer to specific bread, specific water? Why does he say those words? They seem to be superfluous. Obviously, if you did not eat and you did not drink, we knew that you would not eat bread and not drink water. So the commentators explain that Moshe was saying something much more significant. He was saying that he did not eat bread and did not drink water, but he was sustained, meaning that there was no miracle in the fact that Moshe survived 40 days and 40 nights without bread or water. How did he do this? How did he survive without a staple, without what we know that if a person would go out just a couple days without bread and water, he would die? So the answer is that Moshe was sustained physically by the word of God. As he learned from God the words of Torah, there was no need for bread and water. Not that he didn't eat bread and drink water because there was a miracle going on. When a person is being nourished from the word of God, when he is receiving the receptacle of the word of God, that in itself is nourishment. Not only nourishment in a spiritual, poetic, metaphoric way, it's an actual sustenance. It's the way he was physically sustained. His body subsided on spiritual words of God. This is actually a verse in a different place where it says, Kiloi ala lechem levado yichya adam. Not only through bread will a person sustain himself, ki al kol moitza pi Hashem yichya adam. Every emanation of God to a person sustains him. And that doesn't mean, again, metaphorically or poetically. That means actually. A person has the capability of surviving physically many days without food and water if he has the words of Torah in their purest state. Obviously, don't try this at home. Don't start fasting for days on end, because Moshe obviously was receiving the Torah in the purest of forms, straight from the mouth of God. If that happens, then maybe you could try. Anyway, a question on this week's parsha. Towards the end, it talks about Moshe's Keren Arm, the aura, the physical glow of Moshe's face. And it's interesting that Moshe decides, after speaking to Hashem and realizing that he had this glow, Moshe gets a masveh. He gets a cover or a veil for his face. And he doesn't wear that veil in 3 times. He doesn't wear that veil when he's speaking to Hashem, when he's taking leave of Hashem, and when he's speaking to the Jewish people and teaching them Torah. Those are the 3 times that Moshe would not put on the veil. The pasuk says that the reason why Moshe got the veil was because people were scared, afraid, embarrassed of Moshe's great presence because of the glow on his face. It was tremendously conspicuous. And because of that, Moshe decided to put the veil on. Now the question is, if Moshe decided that the veil was appropriate because of whatever reason, then why did Moshe take it off when he met with the Jewish people, when he talked to the Jewish people, when he taught the Jewish people? We can understand why Moshe took it off when he spoke to Hashem, because obviously Hashem would not be intimidated by a glowing face, because it was because of what Hashem imparted to Moshe that Moshe himself was glowing. So Hashem would not be intimidated, of course, by Moshe's glowing face. But if the Jewish people were intimidated by Moshe's glowing face, then why would Moshe take off that veil when he spoke to them words of Torah? Have a great Shabbos.